Hello, this is Skathmont.
This is Python.
This is Deadly Slash Sword.
And this is Juncho-san of the unpronounceable name.
And welcome to the 4th episode of the Final Fantasy Wiki Let's Play, and here we are, in Narche. After the Battle of Narche, and Terra flown off, and we have to follow her to Zozo, on the other side of the continent. But first, a pit stop. And not a particularly interesting one either. Unfortunately, in Final Fantasy VI, a lot of the towns are just places for you to get items, new items. There are few scenes or dungeons. We're going to the only town dungeon in the entire game coming up, which is Zozo. So, I mean, I heard that you didn't. How far have you gotten in Final Fantasy VI? Because I heard you didn't quite get to the end.
No, well, I was playing a Japanese version, so I'm afraid most of the plot was lost on me.
I guess that is a pretty integral part of this game, I think. Not having that would make the plot. It's a little incomprehensible about the plot. You were saying, Sai?
Sansan, how did you get your hands on the Japanese version? Were you using an emulator? Right.
Yes, I was using an emulator on my PlayStation Portable.
Oh. Any particular reason why you got the Japanese version?
I'm not sure. But I couldn't find the English version, so I was playing the Japanese one and struggling along due to my rather limited kanji.
Right. Okay. If you're ever interested in replaying the game, you can ask me or the Pirate King himself, Henry. Henry can easily.
Shh! We'll get in trouble with Wikia.
Oh no!
Sorry. Never mind.
And here's a little bit of editing because I realized I forgot something slightly crucial.
Oh, the elixir clock.
Yeah, the elixir clock. And I forgot something else too.
Oh right, because in Final Fantasy VI, grandfather clocks are the source of eternal life.
And I forgot this entire little stash of...
Wait, don't open that one!
Oh, you missed... Go back. You missed one, and it's bothering me.
Yeah,
it's locked.
You can't open that one, it's locked. But anyway, I heard that you shouldn't open that one until you get to the world of Ruin. I can't remember why.
Oh, is that another one
If you open...
There's a neat item right now that you can open a little bit afterwards. But if you wait until the world of Ruin, you get a much better item. If only I could remember what item that is.
I didn't know that. I thought
is it the Zodiac Spear?
Oh god, Final Fantasy.
Hardly.
They pulled that trick so many times in Final Fantasy VI. I thought I'd known all the instances of it, but I did know that. So I'd be sure not to open that.
It's nice how that guy just lets you go in and open all his chests.
Yeah, he is a nice guy. Like, the people...
Sure, go ahead. Plunder about. I don't mind.
Yeah,
I'm not doing anything
Take
with
my
it.
5,000 gold pieces.
I mean,
Gosh, that must weigh a lot.
I mean, elixirs and clocks
Listen
must
to
be
that
pretty valuable.
beautiful music.
And we keep taking their clocks.
Random battle time.
And then this is just to show how far we've come. Still kills everything in one hit.
Like a boss.
Yeah. One of the things I really like about this game is that it really doesn't bother with balancing its characters. Because at any given point in the story, you always have this character who isn't necessarily over-leveled, but is just insanely powerful. Like Edgar or Sabin himself, who is ridiculously powerful at every single stage of the game.
Oh, by the way, I cut here to a party in which we do actually have Sabin, so that I can show you the scene, because the scene is important, and it makes later scenes make no sense if you don't do this.
This is a nice scene.
But yeah, with your point, Fi, yeah, they always give you, like, Edgar, who's just... Like, they always have a choice of someone who's just overpowered. And in the later parts of the first part of the game, they start giving you characters that are purposely not useful in this part of the game to help balance it out. Like, later you go to a dungeon where you can't use, like, everything is really strong defensively, and they give you a lock in the party, and he's the worst person in the entire, out of the entire party to give, because he doesn't have any other attacks besides physical attacks. It makes him completely useless in that part of the game.
Well, he's not. I wouldn't say he's useless.
Well, no, in that part of the game.
He's your thief. He's your thief. He's never useless. Yeah, I think that. Are you talking about the path to the sealed cave?
No, Magic.
Is that what you're thinking?
Magitech Factory is they force
right.
lock into your party,
Oh.
and every single enemy there can only be damaged by magic. And Locke is terrible at magic and doesn't have any other attacks besides physical, so he's not useful. He's not very useful there.
Skate, I think the music is a bit too loud.
Oh, I can turn it down on the YouTube video.
You guys are talking about gameplay, and I'm enjoying the sort of drama that's going on here.
You're the one
Dividing up the kingdom. That always works well, King Lear.
Well, maybe this is the version that came before Shakespeare, and it ended with King Lear regaining his throne instead of King Lear dying and everyone else dying.
If only I had read King Lear.
Yeah, apparently that.
I really like this music. It's. I don't know. It's. Well, I know it's a bit cliche to say this, but I think this is just so appropriate for the moment.
Yeah, like, if you don't see the scene, like, coins show up throughout the game with Edgar and Sabin and other parts, and it makes no sense otherwise. Like, you have no idea what the coin is doing.
Yeah. This is the same coin Celis uses to trick Setzer, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't see this,
And
if you don't see the scene, it makes
I
no
seem
sense.
to recall that. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, and if you need to bring Edgar on that place for the scene to make sense, because she gets it from Edgar. Otherwise, she just has a coin, and it's
Plot
weird.
hole.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, it doesn't make very much sense.
That's not the biggest plot hole regarding the opera scene, though. We'll get to that later, but yeah, been thinking about that one for a while. The whole opera scene.
Yeah. It's probably the only time in the entire game when they both sit on the throne, and that those two thrones are actually good for something.
Yeah.
What I really like about this game is how much they use, like, the same sprite to mean different things. Like, they just have, like, this arm raised to mean, like, them toasting or something, and they, like, have, like, looking down to mean, like, a million different things. It's I don't know, it's just pretty interesting how they use.
No, I think it's a very good observation. I think it's a masterful way of using sprites, because you always get what they're doing. Even if you've seen the same movement hundreds of times, you know they're toasting, they're saying goodbye, they're tossing a coin. You always know what they're doing. Of course, you need context, but you don't need fancy, like extremely fancy graphics to convey emotions. That's, I don't know.
Yeah, and the other side.
It's a good way of using. It's a great way of using sprites.
Yeah, on the other side, there's Final Fantasy Tactics, which is kind of a weird game in the sense that it has tons of animations that are only used once. Like, there's one point when there's a scene with Dark, and he just pours a wine glass, and it has nothing to do with the scene or anything. He just pours a wine glass, and then the animation's never used again. It's a little weird. I guess they put a lot of time. I don't know. It's the opposite.
It's really quite a beautiful game. Even now, I mean, I played the Game Boy Advance version, but this is really still quite lovely.
Yeah, there's some games that have aged better than others. This game has aged pretty well for a Super Nintendo game. It's like, when you look at this, and then when you look at what came after in with the early PlayStation generation and Nintendo 64 and I suppose the Saturn, this seems to have aged better than that. That's just some of those games are just ugly and unplayable at this point.
Hey, question.
Yeah.
Where's Sabin? Or Sabin?
Oh,
Where is
that
he?
was a different take. Sabin's not coming with us on this dungeon. I just needed to show the scene because otherwise later events wouldn't make any sense, and that was a good place to show it.
I'm so sorry, Skid, but I can barely hear you.
Oh, I'll say that again. Basically, Sabin didn't come along because I'm taking Shadow here.
Oh, right, you were just showing the scene.
Yeah.
For everything to make... Oh, right, never mind.
Yeah. If you're playing this game
And along came Shadow.
normally, never, ever, ever take Shadow with you at this point in the game. Because he will leave randomly throughout the entire next dungeon. And he costs 3,000 gil, which is more than Shadow's worth.
Is it? I really enjoy playing as Shadow. It's... Well, no. Ninja. It's the ninja appeal. He's also the second fastest character in the game, so I think the 3,000 gil are worth it.
I paid the
Besides,
3,000 gil just to see
his-
the
his-
secret scenes that we will be seeing later. Not for any gameplay purposes,
What
because I
scenes?
didn't end up using Shadow, but
Yeah, this is the only time in the game you can see these scenes. If you buy Shadow now.
for completionist's sake, 3,000 gold or gil, worth it, I guess.
Yeah. And the scenes are interesting, and, you know, it's pretty clear who Shadow is without the scenes. But seeing them anyways, it's fun.
What scenes are you talking about?
Shadow Dreams.
Shadow's Dreams?
Yeah. If you go to the inn in the first part of the game with Shadow in it,
Yeah, I know, but this isn't the only moment you can watch Shadow's Dreams.
you
I
can
think
do it in Thamasa.
I once read
You can do it in Thamasa.
you had like a 1 in 5 chance of watching a random dream every time you take Shadow and sleep at an inn. It doesn't have to be during the first part of the game. It always happens.
I'm pretty sure it's only in the first part of the game.
I do remember having I think I do remember having seen one of his dreams during the World of Ruin.
There's a mandatory one. When you get him as a character, there's a mandatory dream. So everyone sees that dream if you get Shadow in the World of Ruin.
Yeah, but no. I remember. Well, perhaps I'm misremembering.
I don't know.
Can't be sure. But anyway, we spent this whole beautiful scene talking about Shadow when we should have been talking about Rachel.
And Locke. Well, there's another scene
and
right
the
here.
whole. Oh, here it comes.
Actually, no, I don't get it here. I actually go and do the Shadow Dream first. I just go and take the green beret.
So Locke's a green beret now.
Yep.
I love that theme. Not the one playing right now. Are you
The one that
skipping
was in the house.
the scene with Rachel?
No, I'm not. I just forget to do it and then do the Shadow Dreams first and then I go back. That's just a weird line. I don't quite understand.
Alright.
These are all edited together, so you don't have to see all the stupidity of like going out and going to the inn and then it not happening and all that. I've actually never seen these before. This is the first time I ever went and got them, because I've never hired Shadow in this part of the game because it's not a good idea. But if you can get them in the World of Ruin, then don't get him here just to see the dreams.
This is quite creepy music.
Yeah.
The origins of dubstep.
I was thinking more John Cage randomly hitting against piano strings.
Yeah, little did you know that John Cage actually produced half of the music in Final Fantasy VI.
Right. For those of you that might be wondering, no, we're not talking about the Mortal Kombat character. We're talking about the composer John Cage.
Wait, is there
Although
one
Johnny
Kombat?
Cage is pretty badass too.
Oh yeah, he's the one of this.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not doubting his badassery. I'm just saying. We're not talking about the same character.
I think I've played one Mortal Kombat game like 5 years ago or something. I'm not any good at fighting games.
He's very lucid for someone who's lost a lot of blood.
it's interesting because I don't know how they got this past censors, because Nintendo of America was like really strict about death and dying and blood at this point in the game, at this point in time. So I don't. It's like they had to change Holy to Pearl and stupid things like that, but this slipped through. So it's weird. I don't know. Like this is about like assisted suicide.
I think that as long as you didn't show the blood, I think you were okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Love the
I love that.
All the synthesized voices and barkings are all amazing.
It's tiny, but I'm still thinking, what a cute little doggy. Come here, doggy.